Today, we already got briefly introduced to what the sarcomere is, but I wanted to break down the different aspects of it before we talk about the physiology of each aspect. So, for the sarcomere, right, remember that in the center we have thick filaments. And these thick filaments are comprised of myosin, right, that motor protein. And again, we're thick. And then straddling these, we have thin filaments, which really I should draw as little pearls, but for speed we'll do curly Qs. We have thin filaments made of actin, okay? And when we're thinking about how this moves, remember myosin is the motor, which means it's going to be the one that's driving the movement, not the actin, okay? But let's kind of orient ourselves into which direction the things are going to be moving based on what we have in the area, okay? So we have two lines that we need to establish. In the center here, we have the middle, or the M line, okay? And on the ends, we have the Z line. So think M for middle, Z for end of the alphabet. Now remember, if actin is not the one driving the movement, myosin is, right? We'll explain how this works, but the myosin is going to pull on the actin so that it moves in. So we think when I'm doing a contraction, the Z line is going towards the M line, okay? Now there are a couple of bands that you can see under the microscope. So when we were first figuring out how muscle cells worked, we just looked at them under the microscope and saw what changed in different conditions. And these bands that we saw under the microscope gave us a lot of insight, and we still use those terms today. So in the very, very center, where we just see this kind of thick band of just myosin, we call that the H band, or I'll put it up here. We have the H band, okay, where it is only thick or only heavy, okay? Now, the myosin, there's the area where we have myosin and actin together, forming what we call cross bridges. In the middle, where we see actin and myosin interacting, we refer to that as the A band. There's a German name for it, but for me, I just refer to A as all. We have both thick and thin together. The last band is the I band, okay? The I band is just thin, okay? And the way that I remember that it's just thin is because I is a very thin letter. At least that's how I think about it. These band sizes change it as the actin is sliding across and contracting inward. So that A band can get larger or smaller, and that's going to impact the level of tension that we see in our muscle. And we'll talk about that in another video.